How do you look at her when you know the baby isn't yours? It was just a crumpled piece of plastic, white, faintly stained, 2 pink lines. I stared at it like a live grenade. My hand didn't shake. Not yet. Because 2 years ago, I got a vasectomy. Quietly. No big talk, no announcement, just me, a decision, and a small clinic. I told myself it was the smart thing to do. But deep down, I knew there was more, a quiet doubt I'd buried for years. Suspicion feels cowardly when you love someone, so I buried it, until that test pulled it out of the grave. I didn't confront her, not that night. I slipped the test into a Ziploc, hid it behind my briefcase, and watched her across the table as she smiled and asked about my day. Her laugh sounded normal. Her eyes looked soft. She kissed me goodnight, whispered she loved me, and I said it back. The next morning, I woke up early, heard her voice in the kitchen. I thought she was talking to her mom, but then I heard my name. Of course, I'll tell him it's his. My lover isn't ready for a baby yet. He might leave me, but my husband's always wanted one, she whispered. The sound of her words didn't just hurt, they hollowed me out. I stood on the stairs and felt something inside me die without a sound. That day, I sat in my car for 4 hours, engine off, hands locked on the wheel. Every breath replayed her voice in my head like a broken record. My home, my marriage, my life, it was all an act. And the worst part? A small, pathetic part of me almost wanted to believe her story, that maybe I was the father, that maybe it was a miracle. She had once cried in my arms, promising she'd give me everything I ever wanted. Now I know what that was, guilt disguised as devotion. It's funny how guilt hugs tighter than love ever could. At work, I couldn't think. At home, I played my part, listened to her talk about baby names, touched her stomach when she reached for my hand. I became an actor in a movie I didn't audition for, a mask that smiled when it was supposed to. But while she slept, I started building my escape. I photographed the test, ordered a DNA paternity kit, silent, non-invasive. Checked her phone while she showered, found burner numbers. One labeled work, except she hadn't worked late in months. I traced the calls. One number showed up often, some florist in another city. So I called, said I was confirming a delivery. The woman on the phone asked, "Is this for Angela's husband or her boyfriend?" I didn't say a word, just hung up. That night, she curled into me, breathing softly like she belonged there. And I stared at her, wondering how long she'd rehearsed this lie. 2 days later, the DNA results arrived. 0.00% probability of paternity. It felt like reading my own obituary. I printed the results, slipped them into an envelope. On the front, I wrote, "You lied to the wrong man." But I didn't give it to her. I sent it to his wife. Yeah, turns out he was married too. They deserved each other. I left everything behind, clothes, keys, her engagement ring. Placed it all neatly on the bathroom counter next to her prenatal vitamins. She called 23 times before noon. I didn't answer. The 24th call was from a different number. "I'm his wife," a trembling voice said. "I got the envelope." I stayed quiet. "My husband had a vasectomy 3 years ago," she whispered. "He never wanted kids. He said your wife was just fun." Then her voice broke. "But now I've told him. I showed him everything." I could hear her breathing hard through the static. "He's denying it," she said. "But now she'll know what it's like to be alone." I almost smiled. "You sent me the truth," she said. "Now I'll bury him with it." I hung up. No last words, no closure, just silence. Let her find the empty closet. Let her stare at the ring. Let her count the lies backward, until nothing adds up anymore. I didn't destroy her life. She did that herself. And I won't waste another breath trying to save someone who was born to drown.